Hello. I hope that you can hear me well, and I hope that you can hear my colleague Damien as well, of course.
Hello. Yes, normally everybody can hear me.
Yeah, normally. I hope so. So let me share my screen. It could be useful. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Nice. Already a lot of people here. So I think that we won't wait as we do usually because we have a lot of topic to cover today and we only have 1 hour in total. So let me just start from scratch and from the first slide of my presentation. Oops, let's go for it. Here we are. So go to the next screen. So hey everybody, I'm Guillaume Locke from Hidalgo. I'm a business consultant, a business hero, as we have the pleasure to call. And so I'm a part of Hidalgo as an employee. And today I'm going to present you the topic of the day, which is Plan Like a Boss with Monday.com and As You Were Santa, of course. And so I work with my colleague from France, Dam. Dam, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Damien. I work at Hidalgo since few years also with Guillaume. I'm one of the sales manager for Monday and for Hidalgo in France. And I'm also a certified consultant on Monday especially. And helping customer almost every day nowadays with Monday.com. So that's good.
Sounds good. That's already.
And I will assist Guillaume today during this presentation, and so you won't hear me a lot after
that. So yes, and so we both to work with for Hidalgo, sorry. And so Hidalgo, if you don't know the company yet, Hidalgo is a company that proposes a lot of services. So consultancy is one of them, of course, as you understood. We also propose some kind of managed services depending on the solution that you use. And we also propose some support with the licensing part and so on. So we have a lot of stuff that we do at Hidalgo. And we propose as well some products. So we develop our own products for some other products, and maybe one day, why not for Monday.com? Let's see what the future can propose. So just as a reminder, your mic is mute for the moment during the presentation, just to avoid some noises and so on. So if you would like to ask some question, Dam is here to help you with it. So you can just use the chat. There is some possibilities with the Q&A, etc. And of course, the presentation is recorded. So it means that if you have any issue, don't be afraid to leave or to refresh your page, etc. You will get the recording after all, so it's not a problem. For your information, I've seen that some of you comes from France. We do a presentation in French as well. It will be on Thursday. So if you need to get recording in French as well, it will be covered by Dam with another use case. So it could be useful to get it as well. Feel free to just send us an email and we will just send you the presentation in French as well. So let's dive to the agenda of the day. We won't cover too much of theoretical part. I'm just going to introduce you what is Monday.com, because it's not only a product, it's a company as well. We will just present you the most common pain points for Monday.com and for the PMO. More for PMO than Monday.com, by the way. And I'm going to provide you with some best practice that we can propose, so sharing our secret with you. Then we will finish, if we have time, with a Q&A session. Don't forget that it's only 1 hour, and so to cover this topic, we can't take any break. So again, if you have any technical issue, for example, don't be afraid to leave, because you will get a recording after all. So let's move to the company, Monday.com. And so the company is one of the fastest growing software companies ever. So those slides are a little bit old in a way, but the context, etc., is still the same. So it's really growing fast. You have a lot of office around the world, and with a lot of valuable annual recurring revenue, etc. For your information, Monday.com is just become a public company a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if it's not months, by the way. And you can know that today Monday.com solution and company is trusted by more than 100,000 companies around the world, and so across 182 countries in the world. But it's not the most important. You are here for the product itself. And so Monday.com, and why do you want to use Monday.com, or why should you use Monday.com, is clear. In a company, you have, for example, campaign management, product roadmap planning, OKR objectives and key results management, customer onboarding, new employee onboarding. So you have a lot to do, of course, and each department, each team are using their own solution. And so it means that sometimes it just generates a kind of white space between the department, between the tool, etc. So anyone is just working on this system and won't communicate with other, or maybe you will get some loss of information, which is not really good. So it means that you have kind of organizational silos. So it's even more challenging to sync complex projects across multiple functions and collaborate with other departments that have their own priorities and goals and have their own frictions to deal with. This all results in managed process, duplication of work, or things falling through the cracks. There is an overall feeling that things aren't moving fast enough. And of course, how do organizations try to overcome friction? They just think through meeting, emails, and hallway discussion. They use spreadsheets to manage work, etc. But because IT is in the center of the company, they wait for IT to integrate and automate processes that could be long sometimes. And of course, it's constantly realign, restructure, and reallocate. So it means that, okay, it could work, but you have some kind of friction, some kind of issues, and it's not a plus for your company. So we propose Monday.com to solve all friction points at once. And in this case, how does it work? Monday.com is kind of a work operating system. So it's a platform where team can plan, execute, and sustain projects, processes, and daily work. Anything is just in a way linked together. And how do you do that? By implementing your team in Monday.com. You can shape any workflow in mind and get work done, faster. So it means that you could imagine to use your own tool for support team, for sales team, etc. And anything can be linked to Monday.com. And because you work in Monday.com and can link to other team, then you work in your tool, it sync information, and that sync information with another tool as well. So for example, you have a support team that get information from the customer who would like to get a new module for the system. And of course, the sales should come to the customer. Today, we get a ticket, we can share the ticket to the sales team, and of course, then it generates a lead somewhere, but the support team is not aware about it, and the customer call back to say, hey, where are you with my request? So with this type of solution, you can sync information together, which is a really nice point. Just some information regarding the security. Monday.com is a really nice one for European people. For your information, it could be, and it is GDPR compliant. You can use the two-factor authentication and Google authentication. You can use a single sign-on. You have audit log, a session management. You have a high level of SLA, and so on. If you work with the medical sector, the IP compliance is available, or is as well. So why are we talking about Monday.com today? Because Hidalgo is a company with partner of Monday.com. What does it mean to you? It's something easy. If we are a partner, so if we have a partnership today, it's because some people like Dan and myself did some certification, and because we got our certification and we got the quality expected from Monday.com in our job, we are a certified partner today of Monday.com, meaning that if you ask to Dan or myself to provide you with some support during the implementation, etc., we are able to do it without any problem. So, regarding the tool again, what are the most common pain points for the PMO in general? So, for PMOs in their day-to-day work, the project lives in silos. As explained, you have your silo for your own project, and so you will lose some information. You are only working on your own job. But if we talk about PMO, it's not only one project in the company that you are interested in. It's a lot of projects in the company. So meaning maybe you are working in the PMO department, and then you have something like 50 different projects and you would like to get a clear overview on it. That's an issue. We often talk about it because people are just saying, okay, our projects are managed well, but at the end, we have no idea for the future. We have an issue with the workload and so on. It means that too much time is being wasted. The team members constantly chase updates and endless things, or engage in manual, repetitive tasks instead of actual work. So in your case, you could ask sometimes to get an update of the last Google Sheet, Excel sheet, and so on to get a clear overview, but maybe you don't have the last version. Maybe you are just looking for another tool, another file, etc. So it's not always good, and you are losing time. And I think you are losing a lot of time in this case. If you use a platform where all data are just live and you get your reports based on the information, of course, you don't spend time in it. The time could be spent on another topic and you get your reports directly. If you would like to share your reports, no problem, go ahead. And that's why the real-time data lakes visibility, as explained. So if you're just using some Excel sheet somewhere, it's not real-time data, and maybe you are working on another version, etc. So stop chasing for the real-time status. Just you are going to work on the reality and the real data, the live information. So you have some figures here that's really interesting to know. So you can just take a look later in the recording if you want, because it's not the most interesting part. Sharing our best practices, sharing our secret with you. So the best practices to me is faster project planning and approval. We are going to get a slide for each of them. Automations that do the work for you, a simple single source of truth, the perfect structure to manage an active project, high-level views of project phases that move the needle. So the fast project planning and approval. How do you do that? So if you would like to introduce a new project in the company, maybe you just send an email to someone who is going to talk about it later. And of course, in a meeting somewhere, someone is going to decide. It's not always clear. And to be honest, if you would like to share information inside of your company, you won't send the email to any people in the company. So we can just use the forms to collect all the data you need during the planning. You can adjust the form at any time. So we will see it during the presentation. You get a form that just asks to people some information based on the fields in Monday.com. Mark which information is a must requirement and make sure nothing falls between the cracks. Then you can share the form with anyone, internal or external people. So meaning it doesn't mean you must stay in your company. You can go outside of the company if you want. It could be for, I don't know, public sector. And then you ask to external people, are you looking for something we can help you with? Please just provide us a project. But you can also just share the form with internal people in the company. They just fill in the form and they just request to get a new project, for example. Once it's filled out, connect the data to one overarching board and review and add scope, budget, and others. So, of course, you won't ask to people to provide you with an idea of the budget and so on. So you get information that you need, and then you update information in your board directly. And the last point is easily approve a new project while overseeing the entire portfolio. That's the goal. So you will see it during the presentation, the live demo. The next one, because we are still human, of course, so we do a lot of job, but sometimes the computer or the machine can do it for you. So you just have to define the part of your work you would like to automate and create your own custom automations based on your specific needs. So for example, if when the status goes to done, I would like to send an email to someone, yeah, of course you can do it by yourself, but it's really time consuming, so please don't. If you would like to track the time you spend on a project or on a specific task, and you would like to say if it goes to do from to do to in progress, start the time tracking. If it goes back to stop, to do, to done, etc., you can stop it. It's something you can do. Then retain a similar work processes across the company and speed up project execution with automation, like when the PM is assigned, automatically open a new templated board and notify them. So if you are not familiar with the board and the structure of Monday.com, I'm going to cover it later during the demo as well. So in our case, it means that you can do a lot of stuff with the automation, and I can imagine that's probably not 100% clear on the screen here, but when you would like to create an automation, it's something like a sentence to help you with. So it's not something you have to develop, and you don't need to be a developer to do it. You just have to follow the template proposed by Monday.com, and you just fill in the sentence by the thing you would like to do. So for example, in this case, it's when status change from something to something, you can move the item to this, and you must notify someone like this. So it's really something easy. You just have to adapt the sentence following your requirements. When you have done all the automation, you have your structure, people are able to fill in a form to get a result. Of course, you would like to get a big picture and improve your high-level decision making. So you can use a multi-board mirroring to reflect data from multiple projects into one master board. That's the goal of the PMO in a way. So you are just asking to get a new project, and so after you got all your project, you just send it to the high-level project management, if you want, and each time that you accept or you approve a project that can start, it just generates another board when you can get all the items from the project. So in our case, you will see that I have my wish list to Santa, and so any people are able to just provide what do they want. And so you just create your wish, I get it, I approve or not, and then it goes automatically to the other board, and where I have to to manage or not the project. But if you would like to get, for example, I have no idea, a new motorbike, I need to take a look what motorbike are available, can I order it, do I have the budget, and then of course I need to ask to my people to order the motorbike, go pick it, etc. So you will see that I have a lot of things to do, but as a PMO, I don't want to see if my guy already picked up the motorbike or not. I just need to know, okay, I have 100 projects, are we on track or not? That's what we are going to cover, of course. And sometimes, of course, you would like to get a clear overview about not only the project, but inside of the project. For example, if you would like to manage, run, and track your project on one board and filter your columns of data based on changing needs, it's something you can do. Schedule and costs, again, it's something that you can reflect on our dynamic Gantt chart to watch and adjust dependency, milestone, and baseline. It's something you can do as well. So the Gantt chart is pretty new, and we have a lot of features with it, even the baseline again. And you can just do the resource allocation. So track your team's work capacity with the workload and balance their task to deliver on time. It's something really useful as well. And again, you don't need to have two products for this. Anything is in Monday.com. So goal is, of course, if you are a manager, you would like to get some reports, etc. So you can get a kind of high-level views of project phases with the plan versus actual, your milestone, activity status breakdown, the budget consumption, schedule performance indicator, and so on. So the conclusion, if you are using Monday.com, you are able to build your own project methodology and let the platform scale it for you. You can apply some of our core features to your own work methodologies and to integrate more successful portfolio management practices. Use efficient and standardized work structure to build a long-lasting and winning PMO workflow. You can set up the right high-level view for key insight on your day-to-day work and easily identify the bottleneck. So that was the presentation for Monday.com. And what I would like to do is just jump directly into the demo with Monday.com itself. So on my screen, you can see my own environment for Monday.com and how does it work. Just let me do it quickly. First of all, Monday.com is related to a site or an account. For example, at Hidalgo, we have our own account for the company, for example. But if you have, let's say, two countries, so at Hidalgo, we have France, Belgium, Ukraine, Costa Rica, which is not a country, by the way, and so on. We could have multiple sites for this, and you could say, okay, for this one, we will use those users, and for this one, we will use others. So it means you have two different accounts. It's split. If you would like to have only one, it's something you can do. But how do you build your structure to avoid that people from marketing just goes to the sales information, or if we talk about the support and development, maybe they should collaborate together. In this case, we just need to use a workspace, as you can see here. So if I go to browse all workspaces, you see that I have a lot of workspace for Hidalgo. So we have our main workspace, which is the basic one, but we could have a workspace for the IT team, marketing, for the sales, and for my Xmas delivery as well. So the workspace is kind of an environment where people from the same team could work, collaborate together. Let's move to my workspace, Xmas delivery. Your workspace is a place where you can just put all information related to this workspace, this team, this project in a high-level way. And so what we can do is just create what we call a board. So the board is here. You can see here the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth boards in total that are structured based on your need. So if you would like, for example, to put all projects inside all project boards, inside a folder, you can create some folder just to structure information to get a clear overview on it. If you would like to get a kind of dashboard or reporting, you just use the dashboard here. So you see, based on the icon on the left, that's different. So this one is a dashboard, this one is a specific board. Sometimes, because you can have a lot of projects, you can just use the search engine to find back, I would like to know where is my Santa program high level. It's something you can do. And of course, filter as well based on some information from your board. So let's start from the beginning. When I would like to approve a project, what I need to do is just create, or what I recommend to do is just creating a specific board for this. And as you can see, some people ask me to get some gifts for Christmas, and I already approved some of them, rejected some of them, or some are under consideration or only new requests. Because I would like to make it easy to anyone, I just created another view. So here you see my board with all information. And as you can see, I have tab on the top of my screen. That's called a view. The view is a way to get a different way to consume your data. So for example, I have a lot of information, but I would like to get a clear overview of my timeline. Here I get a timeline based on some information. Better to use a calendar. You see that there is a calendar with my task. You need to take a look to the files. Okay, I have some file here, so it's something I can do. And if I would like, for example, to directly download it from here, it's something easy to do. Then the most important in our case is to use the form view. The form view is something that I can customize based on what I'm expecting from my people. And so I would like, for example, to remove from one place to another. I can just drag and drop information. I say that the status should be hidden because they are not able to provide information. Then you see I have all my info. I just click on preview or share form, of course, and what people are just seeing is just this form. So I would like the last motorbike. And where should we deliver? Of course, it's something easy. Let's say that I would like to deliver it at Hidalgo. Hey, that's something with my address from the office. Easy to do. So it's something based on kind of Google information. And so you can just use as you were using Google Maps. So you don't have to think that's something like a select list where you type some keywords, you get a result. No, it's not something you manage. It comes directly from outside. You can select a select list with, for example, I would like to define that's a general gift. I have a budget for this. Let's say that it's 25,000 euros. I have a provider website, so let's say that's google.com, and I would like the brunch one. If you need to add some file, just click on the button, select the file itself. Let's go for it. Sorry, my connection is slow sometimes. And I submit. When you're done, it's done. Easy one. And what happened from my side as a project management, as someone who should approve the project, I get a new row in my table. And as I explained, I told you that, okay, I get the last motorbike from Guillaume here. And what I would like to do is just to improve some more information. So first of all, you can assign to people. So let's say that I am going to approve my own request, which is good. And then you can even select some information like, okay, the time zone is Brussels in this case, the budget is okay. So if you do PMO, you probably use a program. So it's a part of the program A in this case. It's not a status to do, it's under consideration. And when I do something like it, I can already use some automation to move from one place to another. So that's the perfect system you can use. If you use the automation, as you have here, you can get some automation from the system itself. So let me just refresh because the database looks really slow. For today, up, here we are. And so you see that my motorbike just come from the new request to the under consideration part. So it's okay. The desired delivery date sounds okay on the 24th, but for this I need to preparation timeline and say, if I would like to get it, I must consider that it should start on the 20 to the 23. So it's not only a date, it's a way to select a timeline, and it's really useful when you do project management, because if you take a look to, for example, the timeline view or the Gantt chart, you need to get a clear bar of the period where you will work on it. So again, you see that I have a lot of information, and the plus to me is the fact that you can use, for example, a vote. So if you do project for internal purpose and not for Santa, of course, you see that this one is a project considered by at least 2 people, and we can use a rating to say, okay, I clearly agree with what I need. When it's done, you will see that I have my last column here. Sometimes it's populated with some values, sometimes it's not. And I don't want to do it by myself because the goal is just to link my original request with the Santa program high level that I have. And so in our case, you see that I already have some projects which are active or which are initiative or upcoming initiative. So when I approve, again, I would like to move from one place to another and generate automatically all information needed to continue my process. So let's approve it. You see that I have some nice animation. And if I take a look to the right side now, you see that my column is automatically populated. What is it? Again, if I click on it, I get a card from the Santa program high level. So if I go back on the left side, you see that I was on the board delivery approval process. And because it has been accepted, I need to create a new item in the Santa program high level to get a nice view on it. So if you take a look here, that's my new one. So my motorbike NB is being added to the upcoming initiative. And so you see that automatically I get the PM from my original request, the program, I get the due date, I get my budget, etc. So it means that sometimes I'm just going to copy information from one place to another. But the fact is I won't only do that, because copying meaning that I take the information for this moment and I'm going to paste it in the other system. But sometimes it can change. Let's say that my budget is not enough, or I forgot to just replace it. Let's go back to the budget from my motorbike, and let's say that I'm going to double it. It's 50. No, it's not 25 anymore. If you take a look here, you see that my column here just reflects information from the project approval column. Project approval is just the link from my previous board to the new one. And so each time you are going to get an information from the initial budget on other information, you will get an update from this. So if I would like to manage my project, of course, I must say that it's not upcoming. It's considered as an initiative in our case. And so again, it moves from one place to another. And the goal is not only to move it from one place to another, but maybe we should consider that active. And when I move to active, in this case, I'm going to do more than just create an item somewhere else. You see that on the left side, a board appears automatically. I didn't do anything. And so the good point here is, okay, I have my new program here, and so I created a board for this. That's how I'm going to manage my new project. So to do my new project, I won't do it too much on this part because it looks like it's really empty. I just want to say that for my new project, I wanted to follow the specific process. And for that, I just use a template for my project. So he gets the new name, for example. Let's move it. And you have all views needed with a Gantt cost tracker and workload. That's empty for now. And I'm going to create all my new items. So check stock, for example. You can do a lot. And so saying something like it's in progress, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say that expense is, for example, 500. I plan therefore something like 4 hours. And you see that because I go to in progress, the time tracking is started automatically. And so let's say that we won't wait too much. I already spent 18 seconds on this. And I would like to say, yes, but yesterday I worked more. So I started at this. So let's move to that. And I done something like 2 hours and 5 minutes, just reminding. Okay, it has been added. And you see that my effort spent is 2 hours. And I decided to calculate my actual cost is 100 euros per hour. So I didn't do anything. I just said, okay, I'm working on something, just calculate for me. Then the fact is you can have more than only calculation, etc. You can use it for a lot of stuff. So for example, we know that on my baseline, I would like to do it from the 13 to 14. It's okay. And here you see that it's overdue for the moment. So what I'm going to do is just say, yes, okay, but it's currently considered as done. So if I do this, first of all, of course, again, it's going to just move from one place to another, and it's going to do more stuff like updating information, like the date where I closed my issue, where it's considered as done, of course, and I will get, maybe doesn't want to do it, but why? That's my demo effect, of course.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, we have two questions or two little things.
Yeah.
It's Catherine that wants to see how to create folder again to sort your board.
Yeah, sure. You just use the Add button on the top of your screen, and you see that you can create a board, a dashboard. You can import data as well. It's really important if you use project management tool, considered as Excel in most of them. If you would like to create a doc, doc is a new feature that allows you to document information in a wiki. And the folder is here. That's easy.
And also Stephanie who wanted to see activate the move to a new item again.
Yeah, sure. If you go to the automation process, it's an easy one, and it allows me to show you how it works exactly. You go to the automation center, and here you have all automation that is proposed by our friend from Monday.com. It's an easy one. Let's say that when my status change, move to. Just click here, it goes directly to the good place. Okay, I don't see it directly. You can use a search as well and say status move to group. When a status change to something, move item to group. Easy one. When my status, so my column status somewhere, change to, I don't know, stuck, for example, I would like to move the item to something. So let's say to stuck. When it's done, you add it to the board. So in this case, I think I already did it before. Yes, indeed. And you see that it's done. If you would like to manage it, of course, automation, you can just turn it off, turn it on. In this case, it's a duplicate, so I'm going to delete automation because it's not necessary to have 2 times the same. Oops. I see that you have the mirror question as well. So
yes, please, Guillaume, the mirror question.
So, just for your information, if you select, first of all, a connect boards column, that allows you to select what board you would like to connect. So in our case, that's, for example, the new board we just created, Motorbike 2021. Don't forget to create a two-way connection if you would like to create the connected board column on the other board as well. So let's do it. You will see the difference. You connect the board. You can directly create your mirror columns, or you can do it later. In our case, we are going to do it later. So let's show all columns that exist, and let's go for the mirror one. I click on Add to Board. My new column has been added. I'm going to link it. So for this, you just need to select what column are your, where does it come from? In our case, it was for the Motorbike 2021. And following the fact that you selected Motorbike 2021, what would you like to show? What would you like to display on this screen? I would like, for example, to say, for example, do we have, what is our actual cost? It's done. You can go further with configuration, but it's already a good one. So in our case, what you can do with this motorbike, you can, for example, pick some information from the item. Let's click on this one because that's the item I would like to associate to my item from the eye level, and you get information. That's an easy one. Let's go back to here and show you the result that I was expecting because it's done during the meanwhile. And so it has been done on the 14 as expected. So I have no luck because of the fact that, okay, it must be done for the 14 and it has been done on time. It's something you did. If you would like, you can also use a risk system. So if I say that it's a risk, you will see that I just switch my status to yes. And so in this case, a new risk has been added to my risk management board as well. So you see here, I have a lot of risk. I even created some dashboard to get a clear overview on it. So you see that my full potential money and it was the lost, and this one is a lost stop. I have a countdown before the Christmas party and what risks are considered as stop or still active with the cost related to it. So it's something you can do, but I have another board which is more impressive. Let's say that for our project Africa 2021, we have some tasks here, and some of them are in some status. I have the same for South America, and I am responsible for South America board and project. So you see that I have a lot of information, and if I am the project manager, sometimes I just don't want to see item per item. So I just go to the program high level for Santa, and you see here that I have the PM is Dan for this one, and the PM is me for this one. And you see that I have all my information in one place. So for each project, you can see that, okay, the initial budget was this. We already allocated a budget like this one, and so the budget remaining is this one. Those information here as considered as a status. So I have, for example, on 7 items, 3 are considered as to do. I have 1 which is stuck, etc., etc. Items are just here. So it means I have my column with all items. And if you take a look, you can select what item are related to this project. Each time you add an item, it just takes information from your board where you manage a project with all item, task, etc. And it just goes up to bring you information in one and single place. I can see here that it's not a problem, because even if the progress is not so good, we have until the 24th. I have another issue from this one, because it's until the 8th of December, which is past, and the progress is not enough. So I need to ask to my project manager, which is myself in this case, to please do something, because we are not on track for this one. The fact is, for example, for the budget, sometimes you would like to understand or to get a clear overview of what is the budget allocated for each project. You can click on the column and you get, you get all information with, okay, we spent, for example, 75,000 euros on this one. Wow, it's huge, and it's not, we are not far advanced enough on this one. So you can just click on the item, get a clear overview, and say, hey, GB, why are you spending 75,000? It should be 7,500 only. And then it's going to recalculate all information, and you get 7,500 plus 200, and it's okay. And so your budget has been recalculated automatically. So meaning that you can get a clear overview of all your project in a single place. So the point is, if you would like to get something which is a little bit different, like the Gantt view, you can have this view here. So for example, I have for my own program, and then you would like to change the deadline or the timeline of a project, you can get a clear overview here. So let me auto-fit, and let's say that for this one, I am going to switch from one date to another. Come on. Why don't you want to? It doesn't want sometimes. So let me do it in another way. Just click on this one and say that the timeline is not this one. That's why. Sorry for that. So because it comes from my project, the project Africa, I think, in this case, I need to just switch information from this project. So for example, it was from the 1 to 8 of December. Let's say that I'm going to go to the 24th. So if I go up, you will see that all information here has been changed as well, which is really important. Let me just switch. And you see here that, okay, we have a difference here. It's really important to see it, because I know that I have some issue with it due to the fact that this one must be done before this one. And so in our case, you can create a kind of dependency between elements. So let me show you on this one. If I would like, for example, to move something because it's a real mess on this one, I say, okay, this one should be before. You will see that sometimes my dependency here is going to be updated as well, and you are going to update any information depending on this one. But maybe I just remove my automation system. It is not a good idea when you do a demo. I think that I removed it. That's why. Yep, sorry. So let me just see if I can we do it predecessor here, setting based on the baseline column. And so if I move here and okay, okay, okay. Oops. Let's see if my automation works again. If not, I won't do it. But trust me, if you would like to, that's not a problem. You just have to use automation to update information between elements. And when you move it from one place to another on the Gantt chart, it just updates information and you will get a clear overview of all your items. So it's not possible to just say something like, let's move from this place to another. But I can show you on marketing. I think that I have it somewhere. Jobs. Nope. Up. If not, it won't be an issue. Yeah, but I have any dependence. And on this one, I don't think to. Okay, let's cover it later, so we can just redo it later. So that was the goal. I hope that was clear to you, the way of processing the project. So you first ask for an approval for your project, then the project is managed. If it has been accepted, you go for a specific board for your project to manage it as expected and get a nice result. And so, of course, because sometimes would like to don't get only one view for the project, you can create a specific dashboard for him, just to be sure that he will get a clear overview. So, for example, we have some project here. I added another project before. So let me just add, for example, a new board. And the board was motorbike, I think. Up. Let me just add this one. Okay, it's done. And here we are. So you have the motorbike project that just appears on the board, and it allows you to get a clear overview of the progress of your project. So you see here that my project is 100% done. Of course, I had only one item to do, but the other one, the progress is not so good. And you can take a look to the effort management. So the estimation, you can see if you are on delay, for example, what time has been spent on items, etc. You can get the effort breakdown per project based on the status. You see here that I have a workload system. And if I see that Guillaume, for example, here has too much to do, you can just directly, even from your dashboard, remove and see, okay, I had 40 hours to work a week. Then it looks like, okay, because no, I have only 36 to work on. And then you can do it by based on your stage or budget per PM as well. So you see that I have for South America, DAM has a higher budget than mine, or even Jean-Baptiste budget. And so the Llama farm is a good one. So it was really quick because in 1 hour, it's really hard to give you a nice overview on how to do PMO, because it's not only based on the product, it's also something you must understand, you must know, you must already have your structure, etc. So I hope it was clear enough. And if you have any question, just feel free to ask, because Dam and myself are here to provide you with some response.
Yes, we have a question, I think. Can anyone change the value, or any workflow is there for baselines to change the values of an item? So to change the values of an item, it's based on the user permission. If the user has the proper permission, he can edit item. And then approval for item edits, I don't know. I don't think there is approval for item edition. But there is but you can.
So if you have a plan, you have a multiple plan for Monday.com. It exists with the basic standard and at least Pro or Enterprise. I clearly recommend you to go for Enterprise if you want to do PMO in your company. Pro for small company could be enough, but you don't have some functionality, so clearly enterprise is better, but depends of you. And then if you would like to adapt the permission based on item per item, for example, you can do something like it. So the permission are something I didn't cover because it's not an introduction to Monday.com, but you can do a lot. So permission is from the account itself until the item, depending on your plan. If you go for enterprise, you have for now the beta version to allow people who are assigned to an item in a way. I don't care if it's assigned PM and so on. You just have someone who is associated to a column person. It can view the item. But then the edit permission, as you can see here, you can edit as well the content. So you can edit everything, the content, only if it's assigned to you, or you can only write some updates. It's something you can do as well.
What is the main difference between Monday.com and Notion? Actually, I don't know Notion
Me neither.
at all, but I found a good comparison article, so have a look on the article. There is a lot of feature in Notion. There is a lot of feature in Monday. It's quite comparable in terms of feature and what you can do with one and what you can do with the other. There is thousands of tools. That's it. Can we, with automation on task, create a comment on another task when the first one is done? Status change.
Yep, it depends. You have a lot of automation, and you have what is called a pre-made update or something like it. So you have a different way to do it, but it depends how your items are linked together. So it depends, for example, if it's a connected board, if it's a sub-item, if it's an item that you move, of course, in this case, yes. So it depends of this. We can, if you want, you just send us your use case and we can take a look together how to implement it with you. Because I didn't talk about it, but those are the automation proposed by Monday.com, but you can even create your own custom automation for this. And so, for example, when the status change to something, so let's say my status from my sub item changed to stuck, then I would like to create an update with this text. And so I think maybe we can say to a linked item, etc. So for this, we need to get a little bit more information just in case. Sometimes, if it's not something you can do out of the box of Monday.com, it exists as integration. It exists also add-ons that you can buy for Monday, and so you add all the automation in your system, all the new product add-ons, etc. in Monday.com, and it allows you to do more stuff than ever.
But yes, automation on items and on specific items, no, it's not possible. Cross items, I mean, it's complicated. It's not possible.
Yep. There is some, but it's not always easy to do it.
Yeah. Anything else? Maybe we have other question. Let me check quickly. No. We answered everything. Comment allons-nous être prévenus de la mise à disposition?
For this, if you would like to get it, what I can propose you is just, can you send an email to myself or to them with your email address, and then we will ask to our marketing team to just send you the link to the recording.
Well, what we can do also is, because we have the list of all French email in the English session, we can send the French session to the French email that registered in the English session. So yes, Anne, don't worry, we have your email. You will get it. Voilà, merci Anne. Tu vas l'avoir. On va faire le nécessaire pour que tu aies que tous les Français d'ailleurs qui se sont inscrits là avec leur email en .fr, on pourra les retrouver facilement. Dans le doute, on enverra les 2 liens, on fera une com commune à tout le monde, quoi.
That's a good question for them.
Can you cover the mirror theme in French? C'est le seul truc que j'ai pas couvert. Ah mais oui, Stéphanie, je vais essayer d'ajouter ça. Ok, je vais essayer d'ajouter ça et ça fera partie de la vidéo.
Yeah. And Stéphanie, si besoin, c'était en français, non, en anglais. Stéphanie, in French or in English, don't care. Can have a specific one-to-one meeting for this. If you need some support, etc., we can already explain you in your use case with your own environment, etc. It's not a problem. Just send an email and we will find some time for you. Set the time.
Xavier, enfin je pense c'est en français Xavier, surveille l'année prochaine, on va avoir pas mal d'ateliers, au moins en général on en a au moins un en français et en anglais par mois. Mais bon, l'année prochaine on sait qu'il va y avoir un peu plus. Et tous ces ateliers là de base ils sont gratuits, donc bah voilà, faut surveiller, ça va arriver. On n'a pas eu le temps de planifier encore tout ça, mais ça va arriver vite. Ça va arriver vite.
So let me just.
C'est gentil.
What I can propose, so just you can follow us, of course, on LinkedIn and so on. But if you would like to get a list of all events that are coming, we always put them on the website from Hidalgo. Dam and myself are on LinkedIn, and we always post something about our workshop. So please just add us to your LinkedIn, and you will be notified if something happens. Yep. And we had a question from Xui. It is possible to set the time template before, after once you choose one day, then the follow project will return the date auto. I'm not sure that I really get it, but you can have, it's something that I wanted to show you, but unfortunately I've removed the automation. You can have some automation to just set by default some value. In some case, it's not a problem at all. And then if you would like, for example, at item creation, just switch. Let me show you something because I did it with one of my colleagues here. Up, you have the request. And so I have a new request here. And I would like to say that the due date is, let's say again, the 24th of December. Let's move to it's approved. So when I do this, it goes to approved. And so in our case, automation are just going to update all necessary information, except if my colleague removed it again. Then it's going to create some other item in other boards. And in our case, it will just decrease the number of days of 6 days for some team and 3 days from others. So is it from my side that's so slow, or?
No, it's starting to be slow also for me. I don't know why.
Maybe that was the day where we have some maintenance. So, okay, let's move to something else.
Je rassure tout le monde, on fera le nécessaire pour que tout le monde reçoive à la fois le lien en anglais et le lien en français pour revoir la vidéo. On cumulera les deux listes de mails, comme ça tout le monde aura tout.
So just to go back, the system just here have created, that was on the 24th of December. And if you go to content, it's not, it should be not. So 24, it should be earlier because I have an automation, specific automation for this. But my system again is so slow. So when an item is created, push date by -6 days. So I need sometimes for my team. So for content team, it's 6 days before. The creative team, it's 6 days before, and the design team is equal to 3 days before the date. And so in this case, my automation worked. So it's on the 21st from December, so 3 days before what has been requested initially. And so if I go to creative, it's not done yet. I don't know why is it so slow today. Maybe my colleague is, it's done. So it's come from the 24th to the 18th of December. So it's something done automatically. It means that each time you would like to get some difference between date, etc., all automation can be done as well. So that's not a problem. So you're welcome. If you have any question, just shoot, because time is flying and we are already over, but still there. You're welcome. Avec plaisir. Super, tip top. Thanks all of you. Merci à tous for your participation. We hope to see you soon in another workshop. We will do a lot during 2022. We have a lot of surprises for any of you. So please just follow us on LinkedIn, just go on our website and so on. You will get a lot of nice gifts, not only by Santa, but also from Hidalgo. So please just ask us and we will just do some one-to-one, for example. I'll just provide you with some more information. See you soon. Have a nice day. Bye.